welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, the grand finales here of the Amantes de StarCraft 36. We have our two finalists. It's going to be a rematch. Both Erik and Shakti, they faced off in the upper bracket finals, and a best of 5 did go the way of Erik in the end, just barely 3-2 in his favor. But now we are jumping in to our next setup, into our next final, into our rematch, I should say, as Shakti has fought his way up through the lower bracket, now facing off against Erik in those grand finals in the best of 7. Here we go, as we are going to be jumping in, and game number 1 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. Let's go. Let us go. Again, it was a very dynamic matchup we had previously, and now it continues. Does continue here, and here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. Starting off with a 1-0 deficit. That is the advantage that the Zerg player has coming in from the upper bracket. We'll see if MasTeR can make up for that. It is, well, I said his name, MasTeR. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, oh my, going for a 12 pool. We do have our Brazilian Zerg representing the CranKy Ducklings, as he is one of our own. It is Erik. Here we go. Again, Erik coming in from the upper bracket, has yet to drop a series. As a result, he does start things off with a 1-0 lead, but it is still a best of 7. Still plenty of games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. We are here to indulge in these matches. But now Erik going for the 12 pool, moving out across the map with the initial drone. The goal here is to set up a hatchery in the wall of his opponent, to disrupt the Sim City, to disrupt the wall off, and to bring MasTeR down. We saw something attempted similar to this previously in their previous best of 5. Was attempted. Lings are amassing. We have 6 Lings on the way. MasTeR does probe scout, does confirm the pool first, does confirm the 12 pool, and the hatchery has arrived. Now with this is going to force a reaction. MasTeR, he has to re-wall behind the hatchery, needs to chrono out that first zealot. Boys are being pulled, and Erik is attempting to expand behind this. He chases down the probe, does chase it down, and we'll see if Erik does expand. Now rallying across the map, does rally across. Zealot has arrived. Alas, there's not too much surface area on the hatchery, so still coming into play. Still gaining HP. There's the drone, there's the expand. So Erik, this is not all in. He is trying to transition out of this. Ooh, as he does cancel in time. Does cancel the expansion. Erik pulls away. Drone going for the hatchery in the main. Ling's looking for that surround. He wants that zealot. But the second zealot does pop in just in time. And MasTeR, he holds. MasTeR, he is holding. We can see Erik trying to delay the expansion for as long as possible. Remember, this is all about delaying. This is all about buying time and delaying his opponent. Erik, he will commit, takes down 2 probes, takes down 2 workers, dips in once again, going for a 3rd probe, and surrounding 1 singular zealot. Doesn't quite get it. Adept does pop in. At the same time, hatchery, the main base, is still on the way, and MasTeR, he's not scouted, he doesn't know. MasTeR, he doesn't check, he's not aware of the hatchery. He will confirm though. Zealots, they go up the ramp, they get eyes on the morphing in base. Now behind this, Erik going for his natural, going for the macro hatch as well. Erik, he should be canceling the space. More Lings to arrive though. More Lings, they do dive in. He wants that Adept. Adept does survive though, doesn't get surrounded. Lings, they dip into the main. He still wants that Adept. He wants it. Hey, he's not gonna get him. He's not gonna get him. Lings, they're forced out of the main base. Hatchery up. Ooh, will complete. No cancel. That's going to be an expensive loss here for Erik. Losing the entire expansion. Stargate is now done. Hatchery is going to go down. You can see he doesn't get surrounded by the Broodlings. Yeah, smart move. MasTeR, he pulls away with the Zealots. He doesn't get surrounded. As the Broodlings, they find no damage. Again, if the Zealots killed the expansion, then they would have gotten surrounded, they would have gone down. So nice move there from MasTeR. He pulls away, and now he can move out. He can shade across the map. We have Adepts. We have Oracles. Erik, he did scouts. He did confirm the Oracle production. He's getting his queens. We're getting his queen. There's one queen here at the natural. So let's say shade in. Queen is not ready. And alas, is the big downside of a 12 pool. The Lings, they did not do enough across the map. Adepts, they wreak havoc. Queen trying to rotate over. Drones are going down. Getting 7 drone kills already. Getting 7, getting 8. Ooh, that is brutal damage. 8 drones for 2 Adepts. That is well worth for MasTeR. MasTeR takes the lead. And MasTeR is just pulling Erik apart. Gets another drone. It's going to be 9 drone kills. MasTeR transitioning out of this into a Twilight Council before the 3rd base. This looks like potentially Glaives. I mean, Glaives would be amazing right now as a follow-up, considering how much Erik has to re-drone and resaturate. As Erik, he does move out for a counterattack to attempt to delay the 3rd. Meanwhile, our eyes are on this Twilight Council. What do you have for us? What do you got? Show us the Glaives! Or something else. There it is. Glaives are on the way. Again, this makes the most sense. Considering that MasTeR already has a lead, this is a really good way to just close out the game. To close out the game and to finish off the Zerg player. Erik going into 2-base lair. Did Erik see the tech? He did. He did see the Twilight Council. He needs roaches. He needs roaches. There it is. Roach Warden has been thrown down. Likewise, Erik, he does have some SimCity here. He can fully wall off with an Evo Chamber. Oh, and he cancels. Okay. He cancels Glaives, saves the 3rd base, and starts up Blink instead. Okay, a hard switch into Blink Stalkers. Did he see the tech? He hadn't seen anything. But I like this. I like his change. I do like this change. He's forcing a reaction. Erik, remember, he scouted. That's most likely what happened. Because Erik scouted the tech, because it was obvious it was going to be Glaives, we started Roach production. So MasTeR transitions, he deviates away from Glaives into Blink instead, into something more macro-oriented. Something that has more longevity. Because MasTeR is assuming that Erik would defend against the Glaives. Would defend. Say, oh right, sorry, my apologies. Looks like I had the wrong name. Thank you for pointing it out. There we go. Have fixed it. Have since fixed it. Oracle moves out. Roaches are amassing. Getting into burrow. Let's go. Getting into burrow. But Erik, he is behind. The reality here, he's behind. He's hoping that maybe MasTeR is too greedy. Again, Erik, he's waiting for the Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts that are never coming. Not anymore. MasTeR just chilling here with his Blink Stalkers, and he can now trade Roaches with Stalker. Gets a Revelation off. He spots the main army. Now, burrow can be used kind of like Blink, where you can burrow Roaches individually and you can save them from shots and help them regenerate HP. So there is going to be micro potential for Erik, but alas, I don't really see him breaking MasTeR anytime soon. As Erik has to pull away. Erik does pull away. MasTeR does get across the map, hits the 3rd base, and Erik, he can't really fight this head on. He can poke forward, he can get the sentry, gets 1, not bad. Gets 1 sentry. Goes straight Roach counterattack. Alas, the wall is gonna fall, he busts in. It breaks through the front door, takes down the Stalkers. And MasTeR, does he recall? Does he recall back home? So far, Roaches, they knock down more of these Stalkers. They get 1, they get 2. MasTeR so far not really gaining any ground. Erik, he's holding. He is holding on, but honestly, MasTeR got what he wanted. He got everything he needed. What was that? The third. He killed the third base. That's all that's all MasTeR needed. As he snipes the Ravager, kites back against the Roaches. Back at home, the Roaches don't get into the mineral line. And MasTeR's holding. MasTeR, he is holding. Shout to the... Oh no, the Revelation! As there is Revelation here on the Roaches, they get spotted, they get shut down. And MasTeR defends. And Erik is all in. At this point, Erik is completely all in. Link speed is done. He's rallying across the map. It's all or nothing for Erik. He does need to commit. Back at home, stasis traps. We have some shield batteries on the way. The main army here for MasTeR is not too large, but there's a lot of micro potential with it. With those Wing Stalkers, of course. Oracle does spot the army. Erik morphing in Ravagers. Coming in from multiple angles. Oh, stasis goes off. Brutal connection. And now MasTeR can just focus on one angle of attack. On the Ravagers. Does target one down. I'm still trading. Shaving off some Lings. Stasis is about to run out. And MasTeR is ready for it. Ready for the stasis. Likewise, building on more Stalkers, diving on the Ravagers. He gets one, he gets two, he gets three. Okay, resets the army. Just shuts Erik down completely. Lings are gaining value, don't get me wrong. But it's only the Lings. As every Ravager falls. And now MasTeR can counterattack. Now he can try to counterattack. He's waiting for... Does he have a robot? He does. Does have a robot, does have a Warp Prism. He can reinforce. And here comes the push. Here comes the move out. Erik once again getting ready for another Roach counterattack. Getting ready for a run by. Might actually just scout the army. Oh, barely not. As MasTeR, he sees the third, he sees no saturation. MasTeR moving in. Oh no, and Erik, no, he transfers. Does transfer. Worker's going to be going down, the base as well. At the same time, here comes that run by. It's the one chance for Erik. But alas, he's just losing too much here. Greater Concave for the Protoss. Blinks on forward, takes out the Roaches. Run by comes in, but there's side defense, there's cannons, there's shield batteries. More warp-ins. We even had Phoenixes here out of MasTeR, just in case. And the base goes down. And again, it's just been an uphill battle here for Erik the entire game. He never did recover after the 12 full. Never dealt enough damage. Did fall behind. And since then, MasTeR has been in the driver's seat the entire game. And with that, MasTeR, he's overwhelming. GG gets called, and MasTeR ties up the series 1-1. GG. Does tie things up. Again, Erik, he did start things up with a 12 pool and macroing up behind it. He was able to kill 3 pros, but alas, he still bled out all of his Lings, which meant he had to replace those Lings. We did see MasTeR immediately counterattack with the Adepts, and he was able to just pull Erik apart. He did a crippling damage early on, and that forced a reaction out of Erik. On top of that, if you remember, MasTeR, he responded with Glaive Adepts. Erik scouted, and remember, Erik, he was massing up Roaches, getting ready for Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts that never arrived, because after MasTeR got scouted, he switched into Blink. It was just a really smart response out of MasTeR, switching out of Adepts into Blink Stalkers, into a longer game state, into a greater army that does fare better against Roaches. So MasTeR was just all over Erik. That leads us into game number 2. So far, we're tied up 1-1, and we'll see how this story continues. Who will take a lead here in the series between Erik and MasTeR as we load into Amygdala? That was the first game? Yes, that was the first game. The reason why they tied up 1-1 is because Erik has not lost the series so far, because Erik came from the upper bracket. MasTeR already lost the series, so he does start with a deficit. But here we go, spawning in the right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Hellfire, the land of Brazil, fighting back, tying up the series. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. Once again, opening up. This time, I believe, with a 14 pool. Does open up with a pool first. We have the Brazilian Zerg for the CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own. He is Erik. And he is once again moving out with that drone. Does move out. Now, I believe this time this is going to be a hatch block. I could be mistaken, but I believe this time we should be seeing a hatchery on the expansion location. We'll see as we are biding our time. Now diving in. Oh, no, never mind. Does deny the wall off. Does deny the wall off. Here, Lings are going to be on the way. I believe this time it's going to be less committed. I mean, we can already see droning. We can already see droning here for Erik. Now we have a handful of Lings. 4 Lings so far. Last time Erik, he committed into like 12 Lings across the map. This time we'll see if he does pull away a little bit sooner and expand sooner as well, which is what I'm expecting. Boys are being pulled. It's going to be 5 workers off the mineral line, getting on top of the expansion. Erik, he will, yep, there we go. He'll focus us down and he will expand. So Erik, he's going for a much faster expansion. What's important, MasTeR, he sees. He sees, he knows. Now he confirms that this is not as aggressive and not as committed as last game. Ooh, says a cancel. And this time, Erik does not get back into the main. This time, MasTeR can just calm things down, wall up, and expand. And you can see MasTeR, he doesn't even wall up. He expands first. That's how confident he is because of the scout. He knows. MasTeR knows he's safe. Gets the Nexus. Lings are still moving out. We have our 2 Zealots to defend. You could argue that maybe we could have gotten away with just 1 Zealot instead of 2. And now we wall. So both players have much more comfortable follow-ups. Both players have more comfortable economic game states compared to the last game. Still not ideal, but we're getting there. So Erik is setting up back at home. He never even commits with the Lings. He never really hits the natural or the mineral line or the wall, I should say. He stays back. And is double expanding. In a way, triple expanding. That's going to be hatch, hatch, hatch. Let's go. So it's pool hatch into the macro hatch, of course, into gas geyser, into the 3rd base. So Erik is trying to recover, trying to build back up, droning as hard as he can, but can he survive the adept aggression? Chase in. Adept does threaten the shade. This time we have plenty of Lings. A nice Evo wall, but oh, the Adept does still make it through. And 1 drone goes down, but this time only 1. Whew, as opposed to like the 7 of last game. Like it was crippling damage in game 1 or in the last game. Here, Erik, he does deal with the Adept, does survive, and he can drone. Now we can just drone on up. We can just saturate our bases. We have our 2nd queen. We're going for the goal base as well. Meanwhile, MasTeR opening up Phoenix. Now, if you were here for the previous series, you would know that MasTeR, he did incorporate Phoenixes quite often. The reasoning for this is because Erik is very fond of Muta play. He's very fond of Spire into Muta as a follow-up after taking his gases. It is very common here for Erik. So MasTeR, he's in a way kind of getting ahead of that. It's only 1 Phoenix, only to hunt down Overlords, but he will have this, and this can come into play later on if Erik does go for the Spire. Or this is almost like a deterrent of Muta play. To already have 1 Phoenix. From here, Phoenix into Oracles. It's going to be a Robo follow-up. Robo before Twilight Council. This should be for Archons and Charge Lots. This should be Robo into Twilight Council, into Temple Archives, into Charge Archon. Yep, there it is. There is that Twilight Council follow-up. So it's building up into Charge Archon. Erik does go for a safety Roach Warren. And the scary thing here, because Erik, he's really fond of going for a fast lair, which we don't see, to be fair, there's no fast lair, but he's really fond of fast lair. If he does go for mutas, then MasTeR can strike before mutas come into play. Here, Erik is being a little bit more tentative when it comes to his tech. He's droning, just now going for the lair. It's going to be a 5-minute lair here for Erik, which means most likely going to commit into Roaches. Meanwhile, ooh, that I was not expecting. It's going to be Robo into Twilight Council, into Glaive Adepts, and that's a lot of gateways. Jesus. That's 5 extra gates on the way, and he's not done. Getting 6. He's got 8 in total. 8 gate glaives. He's gonna throw down even more. This probe. What do you have for us? What do you have for us? Show us more gates. Oh my, he's crazy. He's lost his mind. Yep, there it is. More gates. Getting up to 9. A 9 gate setup. Adepts, they shade in just initially here, and they attempt to harass. They scout, they spot the roach production. But this isn't all in. This is an all in here from MasTeR. There's no forge, there's no tech, there's no nothing else. Just mass gateway. Okay, does open the depths. Let's say warping across the map. Likewise, we do have the spire on the. This is what we spoke about. He does, like Erik. He likes his mutas. That's why we brought it up earlier. Spire's on the way. Let us say move in. They knock down the initial queen. Queen goes down. Erik trying to keep up, but last is being overwhelmed. We have how many adepts so far? We have 13 adepts. They go until the Ravagers. They shade into the main. Ooh, but they do get surrounded. Yeah, there's a bit of a surround. Roaches, they trade well. They shut down the adepts, and this is not good enough. There's not good enough damage. On top of that, there we go. Jesus. Warping in 9 adepts at a time. That's crazy. Does warp in another wave. He's not done. But is he taking too long is the question. Is he taking too much time? Adepts are being surrounded. They're being cleaned up. Yeah, Erik, he's holding. He shuts this down. He shuts down the adepts. And there's nowhere near enough damage here. Now shading into the natural. They scout the spire. They scout the mutas. Oh, now damage is being done. 6 drone kills. All it takes is 1 shade. All it takes is 1 missed moment. And 6 workers go down. Prism does fall. Adepts. Oh god, he's not done. He's not done. 8, 9, 10. 10 drone kills. Finally some damage. And we have more depths. More depths. They're walking across the map. More depths on the left. Back at home, gases are being taken, and immortal production has begun. But what shoots up? We have adepts. We have immortals. We have more adepts. I mean, hey, he scouted the spire. Like, mutas can be effective here. Only 3 though. Only 3 mutas. Erik, he hasn't had the luxury of really investing into any more. 3 mutas, that's not even enough to one-shot a probe, so, yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. Yeah, mutas are revealed. MasTeR should already be transitioning into Blink Stalker anyway. As adepts are being forced back. And Erik, he is not making any more mutas, he's droning. Sorry, my apologies, not quite droning, making lings. Making lings, taking up into the infestation bit, into Hive. Erik is taking. And investing into Hydra upgrades as well. Now, I still stand by. I think there was potential for mutas earlier on, but now less so. Now they've been revealed, so we have cannons, or sorry, shield batteries on the way. We have static defense, stalkers as well, into eventually Blink Stalkers. So MasTeR is getting ready. Meanwhile, Erik hard switching into Hydras into Lurker. So a Hydra Lurker on the horizon for Erik. Speaking of, yep, there they are. Lurker dens on the way. So hard switch into Lurker. MasTeR is unaware. He did scout the Hydra den though, but it's not uncommon to see both Hydras and mutas from Erik, or I should say the tech at least. MasTeR should notice that the muta count has not gotten any larger. It's only 3. He still did not research Blink though. He never researched Blink. So no Blink, no Forge, no +1. I mean, sorry, there is a Forge, but there's no +1. MasTeR, he's pushing out with 0-0 vanilla Stalkers. He's all in. This is basically an all-in here. He has an economy, don't get me wrong, to sustain this on 3 bases. But he has no longevity here. He has no intention for the game to go on any longer. Otherwise, he would start his upgrades. He wants to end it here and now. And if, potentially, if Erik was making mutas, then this could kill. But he's been massing up Roach Hydra, and in a couple of seconds, he's going to have some lurkers. Mutas from behind. Yo, shout out to the 3 mutas. Will he snipe the prism? Potentially. Oh! Mutas, they do come in. Prism under fire. Likewise, all just flying. Oh no, the mutas! 2 of them go down. Down to 1. 1 muta left. Lurker then is complete. Made a couple of lurkers. That'll be enough. Couple lurkers, all he needs. But now they're just trying to survive. Making more roaches. Jesus. Okay, this is kind of like a Soul Train-esque all-in with Mass Sentry and Mass Force Field. How many sentries? 16. We have more sentries than any other unit. We have 16 sentries and 15 adepts. Oh my god. Oh, it's Mass Sentry. The last lurkers, they morph in, they have arrived, and then the detection. 0 detection here for MasTeR. He cannot break the lurker line. Observer has begun. But these lurkers, they buy so much time here for Erik. Oh, that's true revelation. Do you get the revelation? That's the answer. Hatchery should go down. Roaches pushing in. There are the force fields. Alas, Erik, he does commit. Knocks down the force fields, moving forward with those lurkers. Does move forward. Tries to burrow. And he will. He will burrow within range. Sentries are going down one after the other. They will all be reset. 0 sentries left. And Erik, he does it. He crashes through the main army. GG gets called. And Erik, he will take a 2-1 lead. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG well played. Erik, he will take a lead here. Again, a wild game and a wild build. We had MasTeR going 9k glaive adepts, which was crazy, which did do some economic damage, don't get me wrong. Did get like what, 10 workers, but I'm sure he was hoping for more. I'm sure he was hoping to kill his opponent. That led into the reveal of mutas, into essentially a 3-base all-in out of MasTeR. No blink, no +1, no nothing, just pure sentry adept immortals. Crazy. But alas, thankfully for Erik, he wasn't going muta. He wasn't going muta. He only made 3 to harass. He was focusing on Roach Ravager Hydra production, taking into Hive and taking into lurkers. And lurkers, they popped out just in time. And there was no good answer to the lurkers. No good answer. GG. GG, well played. Whew, that leads us into our next game. That leads us into game number 4. And we'll see if Erik can extend his lead or if MasTeR can bounce back and tie things up. So we are loading into our next game. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King's Cove, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the Brazilian Protoss, the blue Protoss from Team Hellfire, representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Yeah, the pressure is on to tie up the series. Spawning in the top left-hand corner. For the first time this series, not going for an early spawning pool, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing the CranKy Ducklings, as he is one of our own. It is Erik. Oh, as he is moving out with a drone, but again, he does not have an early spawning pool. This makes sense on King's Cove. King's Cove is one of the largest maps in the map pool, very long rush distance by ground, so pool first or 12 pools are not very effective on this map. And yeah, it's just a hatch block. Just a hatch block here from Erik. The goal is to disrupt the opener, is to delay the economy, while Erik mass expands. We should be seeing hatchery into macro hatchery into a 3rd base, similar to what we saw in Amygdala. As the hatch block has arrived. The hatch block has arrived. So far, MasTeR going for the pylon block, delaying the expansion, and I believe from here, Erik, he just gets his macro hatch. Yeah. So he does throw down his macro hatch. That is his go-to if there is a pylon block. Remember, it was a pool, so it was proxy, a hatch block into pool, then into macro hatch, and then followed by another hatchery. says a cancel into Evo Chamber. This drone ideally survives and gets into the main and tries to gas steal. The old worker does move down to low ground. There's a cancellation. Drone attempting to go back in. Oh, actually sticking around, delaying the expansion even further. Oh my god, it does delay. Very nicely done. Not being as annoying as possible. Delays the expansion, delays the Nexus. Oh my god, for the third time. No, finally. Finally gets placed. Erik going into the main. Again, going for the gas steal if at all possible. But the gas is taken by MasTeR. Erik is forced out. Back at home. Throws down the base. Throws down his own natural 4 lings into the natural, into the gas. Erik settling in. And now the pressure's on on MasTeR, not MaxFax, on MasTeR to counterattack. We'll see what he can get done. He's moving out with the first adept. Erik, he's moving down with the queen. Has a couple links to keep up. MasTeR does poke in. Does poke in, but doesn't commit. Again, there are plenty of links to punish. And MasTeR doesn't want to lose that adept. Back at home, going for a Stargate, and now we can settle into a longer game state. Again, we're in a large map, we're on King's Cove. It's going to take a long time to really settle into this. We should be heading into 3 and then 4 base saturation. As we do see MasTeR commit. Does commit to the shade. Nice movement with the lings. Does stutter step, does keep up, and does shut down. ZvP does fall. Erik getting his third. MasTeR back at home. Stargate open into Oracle into a third base as well. Now, last game we saw a crazy build where MasTeR went Robo into Twilight Council into Glaives. If you recall, I was assuming it was going to be Robo Twilight Council into Archon into Charge Archon. That's what I'm going to be leaning towards here. I mean, we'll see if he goes Robo first. I don't expect to see another crazy 9-gate Glaive Adept build here by MasTeR. Like, no shot. that's not going to happen. Not on King's Cove. No way. Ain't no way. As we have Oracle into Phoenix. Phoenix once again, as we mentioned before, the rationale here for MasTeR specifically opening Phoenix against Erik is because Erik is very fond of Mutaplay. I mean, hey, we even saw attempted Spire and Mutaplay last game from Erik, where he only made 3 mutas, but this is what we expect. Like, even in this game, we expect a Spire at some point from Erik. And there it is, Robo before Twilight Council. So once again, I would assume that this is going to be for Charge or Archon. That is my assumption here. For delaying the Twilight Council and going for the faster Robo. Last game, of course, it led into 9-gate Glaives, but that's more of the exception than the norm. Like, that was crazy. So Overlord is going to be hunted down. We have the 520 layer timing here by Erik, taking his gases, droning on up. Getting into Roach Play, then eventually into his lair, into Hydrogen and Spire. Is what we expect out of Erik. Ooh. That's going to be Twilight Council into Forge. This makes me lean a little bit more towards potentially Blink Stalker. So we'll see if he goes for Blink or if he goes for a Templar Archives. Eyes are on MasTeR. Yep, there it is, Charge. Charge into Temple Archives. We have Immortal Production here as well. Again, this is MasTeR's go-to. It's his go-to kind of build of choice and army setup. Erik is aware of this. Again, Erik and MasTeR, they play very often. They play very often. As we get our Gateway Explosion. Now, we are delaying the Temple Archives. There we go. I was going to say we're delaying the Temple Archives a little bit longer, but there we go. Now it's on the way. This might be lined up with the second unit of choice. It's going to be Immortal first. I'm curious, do we go for a second Immortal or a Warp Prism? If it's a Warp Prism, then yep, there it is. Warp Prism's on the way. I believe the Temple Archives is lined up with the Prism to move out with Archons. So this can turn into an Archon drop follow-up, or to an Archon push with the main army. Meanwhile, we have our tech from Erik. He's going for the Hydrogen into Infestation Bit. This time, no Spire. Surprisingly so. No Spire this time. But once again, going Roach Hydra into Lurker. That is the setup here that Erik has. Similar to last game, except of course without the Spire, without the Mutas. As you mentioned, Prism comes out, here come the Archons, and here comes the push. As MasTeR does rally across the map, he rallies everything, including the Immortal. The army gets spotted. Sentries are seen. Erik knows. Erik knows what's going on. He's to mass up an army as soon as possible. MasTeR is moving out. He's pushing. Storm has begun. Ooh, and MasTeR, upon being scouted, he moves out and he backs off. And what's happening here is he fakes a push, and Erik, he invests heavily into an army, where otherwise Erik could have droned. He could have droned, and we could have seen a Lurker Den by now. There would have been a Lurker Den, and the Hive would have begun, but the tech is now delayed because of the fake push of MasTeR. So MasTeR, he faked Erik out, getting a 4th base. And this means, yep, now the Hive begins, now the Lurker Den begins, but this is delayed. It's delayed here for Erik. Zealots drop into the natural. Zealots go for the drop. Pulls away. MasTeR getting his 4th. There's that Lurker Den, but again, by now would have already been done. Would have already been completed. And there's the Spire. We did say at the start we expected the Spire at some point in this game, and we got it. We got the Spire. I'm telling you, Erik, he likes his mutas. He likes them. If he can get away with it, he will. So now MasTeR is just building up back at home. He's turtling, and what do we see? We see a fleet beacon on the way. As a result, once Erik realizes what's going on, we should be seeing Corruptor production, not Muta production here. If MasTeR committed to a ground-based army, then there's potential for Mutas, but with a second Stargate, with a fleet beacon, with Skytoss on the way, less so. It's going to be about that Sky Zerg, about those Corruptors. Oh my god, meanwhile the Zealots, they do pop up. 6 drones go down, very nice damage. Spire is done. I believe MasTeR scouted the Spire with the Zealots. Yeah, he did scout the Spire. He knows. But again, at this kind of game state, it should just be for Corruptor play. And there it is, Corruptors are on the way. Looks like they rallied to hunt down the Prism. As MasTeR is securing himself. Is securing his center expansion, going for the 5th. Carrier production has begun, +1 air attack. MasTeR is building up here. And this is the late game that we come to expect on King's Cove, as both players are maxing out. MasTeR building up his ideal composition of Skytoss with ground support of Spellcasters, Storm, Archons, Immortals. Storm popping up, catching out all the roaches, and the roaches are going to be going down. Erik, he does want to trade these out, but it's not going to be the most efficient trade here by Erik. As he will throw his roaches away. With that, he wants to replenish them with more Lurkers and more Lings. More Hydras and Lings. Likewise, rotating over. Revelation does get eyes on the rotation. MasTeR is aware. MasTeR is keeping up. First Lurker goes down. Nice storms. Yeah, Carrier is revealed. Now Erik is aware. where are the carriers? Lurkers pushing forward. And we push forward here, gaining more ground. Likewise, MasTeR going for a massive zealot counterattack. There are Lings to defend though. Plenty of Lings. Not going to be the most efficient trade here for Erik, but he should clean this up. There we go. And we'll collapse on this. Not the cleanest of trades, but Erik does hold. More Corruptors are building up. Oh, MasTeR Storm on the... Oh my god, MasTeR Storm on the Lurkers. Lurkers, they will just melt. And MasTeR just crushes this army. Storms pop up. There's 3 Lurkers remaining. MasTeR can just keep going. And he will. It will clean up what little is left. Okay, pulling behind the supply. Remaxing with Corruptor. Corruptors are building up. Building up here. Yeah, Erik's trying to refine his own army as well, going and setting up for run-bys. Still stuck with all these roaches, he has to get rid of them. He needs to get rid of the roaches. Find some side defense. Now, coming into the late game, there are a couple of different army compositions you can go for, depending on what there is. This is a very heavy High Templar composition with very few Immortals. This is where something like Corruptor Ultra can do quite well. Lurker Tech can also be viable here, but it can be a little bit more difficult actually getting on top of the ground army. It's more of a defensive force. Being aggressive with it does take quite a bit of effort. And we'll see if Erik can pull this off. Once again, massive storms on the roaches. But High Templar, they get taken out. Not bad. High Templar go down, Immortals as well. Erik does rotate. Looking for a yoink. Doesn't quite get the abduction. Doesn't quite get it. Erik moving in. Oh. Storm does run away. Let's try to. Yeah, there's the massive cloak. Do we get a yoink? We don't. Yeah, Viper goes down. Massive pickup. Storms on the Corruptors. Files, they graze the mothership. But it doesn't care. Yeah, the mothership stands strong. And the Sky Army is going to overwhelm. Takes down everything. The Lurkers, the Roach Ravager, the Spellcasters, and the Corruptors as well. MasTeR takes a much stronger fight. That was not if Erik. He took so many storms to the face. Again, the problem against this kind of composition is you have to take a slow approach. You have to take it slow. And if you don't, things like that happen. Erik is trying to go into what looks to be Broodlord Infestor. Does he have a Greater Spire? Ooh, no Greater Spire. Uh-oh. So no Broodlords. Gonna be Corruptor Infestor set up instead. Looks to be Corruptor Infestor Lurker. As we're massing up more Hydras to morph into Lurkers. Erik is in a Tentaling run by. As more storms are popping up. It does feel like Erik is still just one step behind that of MasTeR. Like, MasTeR is building up his bank, getting another expansion, still building up a higher carrier count. At this point, I wouldn't be opposed to even stopping carrier production and going into a couple of Tempests. Like, we have 10 carriers. That's a lot of carriers. Arguably too many. I mean, if there are no Broodlords, I guess it's fine. True. As we have MasTeR splitting up a couple of carriers on the right-hand side. I want to say it seems like MasTer's recognized that he does have too many carriers, so he's just splitting off. And make use of it. Likewise, Lurker's moving in. Do we have Neural? We do not. Uh-oh. So only Fungals available. I guess Fungals and Microbial Shroud. Does Fungal the army, but where's the follow-up? Okay, here come the Corruptors. They're coming from behind. The Chain Fungals, they lock down the army. Corruptors dive in. There's the Microbial Shroud. But, yeah, the Corruptors are just dying. Corruptors, they cannot touch the army. The Fungal, it looks down the army, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. MasTeR breaks through the defensive line, takes everything down, takes out all the Infestors, all of the Lurkers. And again, Erik, he just keeps going for this more, like, aggressive style of trying to force a fight and trying to dive in. But that's not how you deal with Skytoss. Like, unfortunately, like, you just can't pull that off. Like, especially in this kind of defensive setup with all these cannons and shield batteries, like MasTeR, he wants to fight on his terms, on his side of the map. And Erik is giving MasTeR what he wants. If you're in this kind of game state here as a Zerg player, it's a hard pill to swallow. But the reality is, what you have to do is you have to gain map control, mass expand, and throw down a force of spores. Just mass expand, spread creep, and throw down a wall of spores and a wall of spine crawlers. Get into Broodlord Infestor with Corruptor and fight with your stack defense and embrace like an hour-long game. Like that's. But the reality is, a lot of players, and I mean, there's a reason why we've heard from a lot of pro Zerg players now stepping away from the game. They don't enjoy playing that. Understandably so, but it's not something that they enjoy doing, but it's what you're forced to do if you want to try to contest against this. And right now Erik's not really set up for it. He's lacking bases, he's lacking economy, he's lacking creep. Like the creep is also very lacking here. So that's why intentionally so, because Erik, he's trying to end the game. Like he's trying to kill MasTeR ahead of time. It's just not working out. That's the problem here. He's trying to end it, not quite working out. And MasTeR is getting further ahead. Now, there is still potential for Erik. I don't want to take away from that. We're still maxed out versus maxed out. Erik, if MasTeR pushes onto creep, true. If he moves out into the open, if he starts to be aggressive, then Erik can attempt to surround, and he can take a fight. He can clean this up. There's potential there, but he has to rely on MasTeR overstepping. He has to rely on MasTeR overextending, overstepping, and making a mistake. Because, let's be honest here, for the past, almost, I want to say for the past 8 minutes, MasTeR has been staying at home. And he's only been going for Zealot run bys. He's been staying at home. You can see even here, he's throwing down more cannons, more shield batteries. Again, to re-emphasize what I said earlier, he wants to fight with all this static defense. He wants to fight at home. And Erik's been giving it to him. And I'm afraid that Erik's going to do it again. I'm afraid that Erik's going to push in once again. And there's nothing pressuring MasTeR from pushing. MasTeR doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to push. He's chilling. He's big chilling right now. This is how you play Protoss, mate. Just throw down this. There's a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries, take another expansion and build up a bank. Like, there's no pressure on MasTeR. He's fine. And it looks like Erik is realizing this. Yep, now he's taking bases. Now Erik is double expanding. He's like, okay, fine. I guess we're doing this. MasTer's like, yeah, let's go. So Erik is getting more upgrades. He has yet to invest into his Greater Spire, so that's still missing. So still no Greater Spire. Likewise, we still need to emphasize that creep. Erik is pushing forward. Oh, it looks like he wants to engage. Uh-oh. I mean, he will get better positioning here. Takes down a cannon. Nice positioning here with these Lurkers. Not bad. Knocking down some cannons. MasTeR being patient. This is where I mentioned earlier that we have too many carriers. If the Zerg player is pushing into, carrier can be okay, but ideally you do want Tempests to help deal with these siege units. Like, Tempests are ideal to pick away at the army and to be even more efficient. So this is where, as the game progresses, I'm going to be a little bit more critical here of the army comp that MasTeR's using. For now, I still think it's okay, but if we do get into Broodlord Infestor, that's when Tempest are more required. We're not there yet, though. Again, there's still no Greater Spire. Here comes a Cloak. Oof. Nice feedback on the Viper. Viper gets shut down, but there's still Fungals. Yeah, Fungal in the main army does dive in, show us the Storms, and massive Storm of the Corruptors. Oh my god! The Storms are brutal and every Corruptor goes down. The Zerg army melts for a third time. That was the third time Erik tried to force a fight. That's the third time he has lost the fight. And that's going to be the third time that I tell Erik to calm down. Back up. Stop pushing it to the front. It's not working, Fabi. It's not working. Ay, ay, ay. And you can see that MasTeR, did he lose anything there? He lost 2 carriers. He lost 2 carriers against 18 Corruptors. Again, like MasTeR, he wants to fight at home. And now he can push out. Now he can break out. Erik, he's remaxing with Mass Corruptor. I mean, hey, the Lings there getting some damage done. MasTeR turns back around. What I will say is that MasTeR, he hasn't rebuilt his stack defense. True, so this position is a little bit weaker than it once was, as he hasn't rebuilt his cannons or shield batteries. So Corruptors are coming in. He wants them. He wants the carrier. And no Archons. Yeah, no Archons. Mass Storm. But it looks like Erik, he will clean this up. He will clean this up. Lack of Archons is brutal. Oh my god, I mean, the Storms are still insane, don't get me wrong. Jesus, this is still a rough trade for Erik. He will clean this up at the cost of almost every Corruptor. Mass DT breaks out there, breaks through, takes down the expansion. Do we have detection? Somewhat we do. Base goes down. And now we get Archon after the fact, after the fight. Again, this shows why Mass Carrier is less than ideal and you need support, and there we go. Mass is like, oh yeah, Archons are pretty good. So now he's going to be reinforcing with more Archon. And what happens here is basically Archons, they deter that kind of dive. Archons, they do so much splash damage. So the next time if Erik tries to dive in, now Mass is going to be more prepared. But this is what I have to say. Look at the bank. Look at the bank here. MasTeR, he has to rebuild. He did lose a lot there, losing the mothership and losing, it was what, like 10 carriers? Jeez, he lost like, I want to say 8 carriers in that fight. All right, Templar getting called out. Ooh, gets 2 and forces out an Archon. So Erik, he's in this. Erik, he's in this game. He reset the carrier count. Erik, now he has bases. Now, unlike, 8 minutes ago, now he has expansions. He has a proper economy. He has a bank that's somewhat building up. And you know what I see? The Greater Spire. Let's go. Greater Spire is finally on the way. And now Erik, he can start working towards Broodlord Infestor. And essentially the dynamic here is going to be the Broodlords are going to be trying to zone and even catch out the Archons and High Templar. And right now there's no good answer to the Broodlords. That's where Tempests come into play, where Tempests have to zone the Broodlords away, and you have this dance. You have the dance between the Broodlords and the Tempests and the 2 main armies. So this is where I'm a little bit more concerned for MasTeR. Not saying that this can't work, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult for MasTeR than it otherwise should be. We're not there yet. And remember earlier we spoke about needing like a spore forest. We're kind of getting there. We have like a spore tree line setting up here in the center. More Corruptors amassing. Nice Hydra counterattack here. Hits the center expansion. Takes down a couple of cannons. Gee, this army is terrifying though. Like this is a superior army to what we saw previously from MasTeR. Like it's huge. That's a lot of Storm, a lot of Archons, a lot of Carrier. We're waiting for the Broodlords. We're waiting for Broodlord, Lurker, Corruptor, Viper, Infestor. But now it looks like we're looking for a yoink, for an abduction. Things to get across. Erik's still shocking around. He has +3, but he's lacking. There we go. He now starts +1 flyer carapace. And Erik is trying to deny these bases, but MasTeR, he is still expanding. Taking another Nexus. Trying to double expand even. Securing bottom left. A nice burrow out of Erik, being annoying. Let's go with the lunge. How many Corruptors do we have? 25. 25 Corruptors. Not bad. Erik's still lacking when it comes to creep. Still trying to build up. Ooh, as Erik, he will lose all these Hydras, but here come the Corruptors, catching out a free Carrier. Not bad. Carrier goes down. Archons as well. This is another extension here from MasTeR. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh my god. Archons, they cracked. Crazy. As they should still get out of here, as they're gonna get picked up by the Lings. And they're gonna be cleaned up. Mothership's on the way. MasTER still rotating between his territory. Getting another base up and running. Cannons are unfortunately a little bit too far forward here to defend against those Lings. There's potential. Erik's still shocking around, looking for any stray units, any stray carriers. Is still looking. Oh, place that back at it. Let's go. I'm still not convinced by the main army. Oh my god, Erik has to be careful. Does have to be careful. We cannot fight this head on, not just with his Corruptors and Vipers. Hydras, they rotate. Zealots, they overwhelm those Spine Crawlers. Jesus, the Spine Force did go down against the Mineral Line. They distract the Lurkers. Lurkers do rotate. Base is going to fall. This is also the downside of not having enough creep. This Lurker rotation was delayed because there's no vision here. No creep. Hey, Zealots, they can pop up. They don't care about your line of 10 Spine Crawlers. No. They'll shut it down. Couple of DTs waddling in. Dark Templar waddle in as well. Still punishing the base. Lurker getting caught out. And now we have finally our first wave of Broodlords. This is concerning though. MasTER cannot be allowed to take this base. If this base gets taken, he's gonna have such a clear route to the natural and the main base of Erik. This is a very, very dangerous location here that MasTER is trying to go for. Likewise, Hydras, they do distract, keeping Erik busy. DTs will hunt down the Hydras. You can see both workers vying for the expansion. Broodlords have arrived. There's the first Tempest. Again, now that we see Broodlords, now Tempest production has begun. I would have liked to have seen Tempest sooner. This is the first Tempest. Already one Archon goes down. Nice down here with the Broods. ZvP to counterattack, takes down more drones. But yeah, now we have full Tempest production in full swing here for MasTeR. Trying to refine his army. You know, the area of the carrier has kind of come and gone in a sense. Now you don't want to go mass Tempest. Ideally you want like a nice split between like carrier and Tempest. They both have their place. Nice fungals, catching out the DTs. Dark Templar Courts. And MasTeR, he is going to be committing. Now, bearing in mind, he does have a recall. Speaking of, oh, he abandons the High Templar. Dangerous. His army is split. Uh-oh. Oh, tempted. Tempted, but the Archons, they back off. Again, just a really awkward recall there. You have to bring everything together. Now, I believe that was a Mothership recall. Yeah, that was a Mothership recall. There is still a base recall available. So, MasTeR, he has a second recall if need be. Lings, they hit the expansion. Base is denied. Again, it's so important here that Erik makes sure this base does not get up and running. Otherwise, once the base gets up, then we get a wall of cannons and shield batteries, and then Tempest, they can start laying siege upon this entire location. So, there's a lot of pressure on Erik here, as MasTeR has basically been slow expanding towards Erik over the course of the past, like, 20 minutes. And he's almost there. He's almost at Erik's bases. Erik, once again, going for another Ling Hydra counterattack. Trying to force the army back home. And we do see a response. Tempest almost gets caught. Carriers moving in. Now, Erik, he should notice this, that there's one Tempest, there's two carriers. This is tempting. Erik could try to punish these units and try to catch them on their own. As we do see, oh, army moves forward. Army does move forward. Once again, next is going to be denied. Erik taking it himself. Maintains that position on the left-hand side. What I was going to say is that that's why these cannons are important, is that these cannons are protecting, like, these stray units here from MasTeR, ideally. Like, they zone. Oh! Tempest, I got a couple of free shots off. Couple of shots pop off. Erik's still ready for a counterattack. MasTeR, he has split up. He has an army here to defend. But there's not much side defense here. So, bold move for MasTeR to move out with this. He gets spotted by the changelings. Erik, yeah, he responds. He wants it. He wants this. There we go, going for the mass storms. Corruptors are on the way. And then MasTeR, he has to get the hell out of here. Ah, it's too late. It's too little too late. Erik comes in. That's going to be 2 Temps and 2 carriers. Ay, ay, ay. Big overextension from MasTeR. Massive pickle for Erik. Why is this army going to be that much weaker? Broodlords moving in. Ooh, they do overextend. Broodlords, they get picked up. It's going to be, what, 4 Broodlords going down. How many had Templar? 9. Yeah, waiting for the storms. Nice feedback. Feedback pops up. Storm zones. And MasTeR is pushing his way through. Yeah, Erik, he cannot stop this. He lost all the Broodlords. Like, without Broodlords, he cannot stop the Grand Army. He lost all the Broodlords early on. Storms popping up. He commits. He dives in. Dives on the army. Mass storm. The Archons, they get massive shots off, and the Corruptors are melting. Corruptors are all going down. Oh, they're trying to trade, though. Up. Can they take down the carriers? It's close. There's 4 Corruptors left. Down to 2. Nah, it's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough. The carriers and the Mothership, they hold their own. It was close, but Erik, he's broke. Erik, he's broke, he has a bit of money. MasTeR has a bank. MasTeR can rebuild, he can remax. At least on Zealot, at least. He has a mineral bank. Gases are lacking, as he is running out of gas. The problem here is that MasTeR has no gas, Erik has nothing. Like, Erik, he has no gas or minerals. He's squeezing out a couple of Corruptors. True. Couple of corruptors on the way. There's the MasTeR reinforcement wave. Headed towards top right. No stack defense. MasTeR does have to consolidate though. Does have to bring everything together. Zelda wreaking havoc. And remember, MasTeR can always recall. He can always recall back home. As he will take down the economy. Erik losing everything. 23 drones going down. 24 even. Erik down to 15 drones. This is his economy. 1 mineral patch and 1 gas geyser. This is it. This is all that Erik has left. He can maybe catch out a carrier. Maybe. He's going for the mothership. Lings, they dive in. But the cloak is brutal. Mothership is going to go down, but only the mothership, and the carries a reign supreme. GG gets called, the Tempest as well, and MasTeR. He will tie things up 2-2. Whew. Oh my god, we're going to game 5. GG. GG, well played. Whew. MasTeR, he does tie things up 2-2. We have a back and forth. We're getting into game number 5. Just catching up. Whew. Oh my god. Let's go, Pappy. What a turnaround. Yeah, there was one big moment when Erik was able to dive in and reset the carrier count. Like, that was the moment for Erik, but outside of that, like, he was lacking in economy, he was lacking bases. It took, unfortunately, it took a little bit too long for Erik to recognize the game state and accept the game state for what it was. As we were mentioning, we saw 3 different dives. We saw 3 separate, like, committed attacks from Erik. We was trying to end the game, and he couldn't. He couldn't end the game. He tried to, he failed to. He took some really rough fights. If he had tried to go for that slower style early on, then maybe we could have had more success, but it just took a really long time for that to kind of come to pass. I felt like it could have gone a lot longer. Erik had no money. he had no money. It's one of those things where no money. But here we go. We're getting into game 5. Getting into game 5. We'll see who takes the lead. Erik, after losing the Broodlords, that was GG. Yes, as we did mention, if you recall, unfortunately, Erik, his Broodlords were exposed. That was when Erik was able to get a free double Tempest and double Carrier, which was good for Erik, but he had left his Broodlords idle and they got caught out. If that hadn't happened, then the game would have continued. If that's what you're referring to, 100%. 100%. If he had been able to babysit those Broodlords a little bit better, then probably would have seen an extended game from there. But alas, everything just snowballed out of control once the Broodlords went down. But now, as we did mention during the cast, but now we're getting into game number 5. Here we go, we're tied up, and now who will take a lead in the series? Who will maintain that momentum? This morning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss for Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings, going for the 12 pool. It is Erik. Hello. He's going for a 12 pool. He's going for a drone across the map. Again, we are loading into a much smaller map. Welcome one more to Leylines. Leylines is much smaller compared to King's Cove. And the goal here for Erik is to try to get a cheeky one over on his opponent. We have seen Erik go for these earlier pool timings already in this series. This time, I believe his plan is to block the wall and to commit with these links. And here we go. The hatchery has been placed, and the lings are amassing. Remember, this is a 12 pool, not a 14 pool like we saw previously. 14 pool, technically it was a 15 pool that we saw like last game or the game before that, where Erik did make a hatchery. This time, Erik is more committed. Now, Erik, it looks like he will still expand, but this time he's reinforcing with more lings. He's reinforcing with additional lings as he expands. There's the hatchery. So Erik is not all in, but he still is hoping to get some damage done with this. That's a lot of boys being pulled. Oh my god. So 6 boys off the mineral line, Zeld as well. There's a cancellation. And Erik, he saves the drone. He saves the drone. Lings are moving in. We'll see if he can find some worker damage. Pokes forward. Up. Again, he wants a probe. Ideally, he wants a worker. Oh, gets a couple of shots off, and he gets one. He gets one probe so far. He wants two. Does want two. He gets two. Can he get three? Can he get four? Uh-oh. This is getting out of hand here as he gets 4 probe kills. That's all that Erik wanted. He will get a zealot as well. And from here, Erik drones. From here, Erik drones. A very strong start for Erik. He gets 4 probes and a zealot. That should not have happened. And with that, Erik will be able to back up and saturate. From here, he's droning, he's making queens. Now, there is going to be an Adept counterattack, and here we go. The Adept is zooming across the map as we speak. It's going to be on Erik here to deny damage, to make some safety links back at home, and to make sure this one Adept doesn't get out of hand. Ideally, this Ling wanted to keep the Adept at home. That is not the case. MasTeR, he ignores the Ling, he keeps a Zealot on it, and he moves out. He knows that he has potential with his Adept. Oh, doesn't get the Larva. Quick morph in there out of Erik. Does zone the Adept away. So far, so good. Erik is holding on. He is holding, he's got his 4 Lings, and now he can drone. Again, 4 Lings is all he needs against 1 Adept. Second Adept is on the way. Stargate as well, into Oracle. Sorry, second Adept already here, I should say. Shading in. This can get a bit out of hand. Yeah, he commits. He commits to the shade, he cleans up the Lings. 4 Lings is not enough for 2 Adepts. Gets 1 drone, gets 1. Doesn't get the other. Nice target firing out of Erik. We're losing 1 drone so far, loses a second. Second drone goes down, up, loses a third. So 3 drone kills for 2 Adepts. I would say that is acceptable losses here for Erik. As Erik, he will take a 3rd base and keep droning. But the pressure is still on. Erik is still the defender. Erik, he now has to defend against what comes next, the Oracle. The Oracle is on the way. So Erik, he needs those spores. You can see the first spore already in production, and the second as well. So he throws down 2 spores, spreading creep, massing up, and droning. So they're droning up. Now we can get into a longer game. We can just calm things down. We can embrace a longer game state here. Once again, we have a Robo follow-up. This should be for Charged Archon once again. There was that, I think it was game 1, where we saw MasTeR go into like 9-gate Glaive Adepts. But again, I do feel like that was the exception to the norm. This should be Robo into Twilight Council, into Temple Archives, into Charged Archon out of MasTeR. Erik is going for the safety Roachhorn. Once again, Erik, if he can get away with it, he's quite fond of Spire play. I don't quite like mutas on ley lines. The map is quite small, it's quite short. It can be quite risky going into muta play. We'll see what he goes for once he gets his lair. As for now, he's still droning. Still droning. We should be seeing the lair momentarily here, as we're getting up to 530 mark. We're getting up to the 530 mark. We have the money for it. There it is. Lair is now on the way. Bit of a later lair here compared to last game. As is at 5:45. So Erik is taking. MasTeR moving out with a handful of Adepts. Erik confirms the 3rd. There's the Immortal production. There's +1. There's the Twilight Council. And we are waiting for further tech from here. We're expecting charge. Yep, charge on the way into Archons, into Templar Archives. Now, from here, Erik has a choice to make. The problem here is that if he does decide to skip tech, if he does try to go into Spire play, then he's going to be vulnerable to a Charge Archon timing if MasTeR scouts. So far, gets 3 more drones for 2 Adepts. Ooh, +1 melee, not +1 range. Okay. +1 melee. This feels like Ling Hydra out of Erik. And there's that Hydra then. So Ling Hydra here from our Zerg player. We might still see a Spire at some point. Erik is just quite fond of taking in both directions. But Erik is skipping roaches. Now what's scary here, Gateway Explosion. A gateway explosion, we have 6 gates on the way. There's the spire that we spoke about into muta play. I'm not too fond of mutas here, but we'll see if Erik commits. For now, we're going for a gateway explosion into Temple Archives, and I believe MasTeR intends on striking with this Warp Prism with an arc on timing. And, okay, he cancels. Whew. I was about to say, if he commits to purely Ling Hydra, I think Erik dies. Thankfully, Erik, he cancels +1 melee, starts up range once he sees the army. Now, this is going to be delayed, true. Roach speed and +1 range is going to be delayed, but at least it's on the way, and at least Erik is making roaches. Otherwise, he would be in a lot of trouble. Whew. So he's switching into roaches. Likewise, his Lings are here to scout the move out. MasTeR is building up, and MasTeR, he doesn't push. What do we see instead? Storm. Storm is on the way. MasTeR is still building up. Now, what this means here is that if MasTeR is passive, if MasTeR doesn't push, then Erik can make mutas. And I believe so far unscouted. Yeah, unscouted here. So this is a viable option. Prism is moving out to harass, not to move out with the main army. And yeah, MasTeR is being defensive. He's expanding. Taking a 4th base, he's staying back home. Prism only to harass. Do we go for the spire? Do we go for the mutas? There is an opening for it. Sees the 4th. Sees the 4th base. Does push forward. Creature on the way. Yeah, I would say seeing the 4th expansion is a tell that it's safe to go muta. And there it is. 5 mutas are in production. So Erik, he knows that he is safe to do so. Prism into the main. And likewise, Erik now he takes up into the infestation pit. So he does take up. Zealots say do not get eyes on the spire. MasTeR does not know. But Erik is known for playing muta, and yep, there we go. We have safety cannons in every mineral line regardless. Now, this is because Erik has a reputation. Even though Erik can be very chaotic at times, he does very much so enjoy playing muta here in this matchup. The mutas are revealed. They shut down the initial Phoenix, as it was a Phoenix base opener, but that does give time to warp in Stalkers. And these mutas, they do not get damage done. So far, a good response here by MasTeR. Good response. Mutas, they can still hunt down that Warp Prism, though it's going to be a one-way trip. Mutas, they turn around. We have to recall. There it is, recall just in time. Whew. Very nice game sense here from MasTeR. He was aware that the mutas had left. He knew the general vicinity. Did recall in time. So nice moves here from MasTeR. Likewise, Erik, the Hive is on the way into Lurker Tech. Now, bearing in mind that the Hive and the Lurker were delayed in favor of the Spire and in favor of the mutas. So Lurkers, they are not ready. And here comes MasTeR. He's finally pushing, this time with Storm. And Erik's out of position. Uh-oh. Erik is out of position. He's across the map. Can he hold on back at home? He has to buy time. He has to buy time. As Erik, he does commit in. There's a wall of cannons and stasis trap as well. MasTeR does turn around, though. Okay, he turns back around. Ooh, he takes the storms to the face. Oh, my God. MasTeR, yeah, he knows. He knows he's fine at home. Or he should be. As MasTeR, he does turn back around. Zelsa distracted towards the north side. Erik pushing his way into the natural. MasTeR going for the kill, going for the 4th. And he has plenty of storms. But he has no reinforcements. Nice storm with the roaches. Oh my God, the storms are popping up. He has so many storms, so many High Templar. Roaches, they're gaining some value, but the base is going to fall. Massive storm on the Hydras. And Erik, he can't really touch this army, not without Lings. Ideally, Lings would close the gap. Oh my, he just tanks, he tanks the storms. The storms are brutal and everything's going to go down. Erik, his army melts across the map. He does the power. He's getting some economic damage. Oh, actually getting quite a lot. Uh-oh. Probes are going down. No reaction to MasTeR. Delayed reaction. Gets 14 workers. Oh my God, this round! The High Templar! Okay, one High Templar gets surrounded. The others have to get the hell out of here. Erik with the punish. He intercepts. And he will collapse on top of this. The High Templar, they're all going to go down. Oh my God. Takes out most of them. There's what one High Templar left. Catches the Archon. We're getting chaotic. We're getting rowdy, Papi, as he gets 22 probe kills, resets High Templar count. There's one High Templar left of the main army. One Templar remaining. Erik, he's still in this. Like, it's still better for MasTeR, and MasTeR still has the better economy. True, true. The Protoss still has the better economy here. But this is still so tense. And we have Lurker range on the way. Erik, he can morph in the Lurkers. There they are. 4 Lurkers morphing in. This is what he's been needing the entire game. He needs those Lurkers. Without them, you saw what happens. You saw just how quickly the army can melt a storm. Lurkers are a necessity. But at the same time, as one player gets Lurkers, the other embraces Skytoss. Now, there's only one Stargate. Only one Stargate, so it's a slow transition into Skytoss, which means Erik, if he sees this in time, he has time to respond to make Corruptor. Remember, he already has a Spire. This is the benefit of Erik's style of always opening up Muta in some way, is that he has access to Corruptor if need be. So he already has the tech, he just needs a scout, as he hasn't really confirmed this yet. For now, the carrier count is low enough where Lurker Hydra is good enough to keep up, to maintain. Meanwhile, a big shout to Flipper Flapjack. Shout out to Flipper Flapjack in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Papi. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Hope the smudge was minimal and you got many ladder points. Get that, welcome all to the grand finals, of Amantes de StarCraft. This is a Brazilian tournament, a monthly tournament. And we're in a best of 7. Oh, my apologies. It's best of 7, not a best of 5. I did fix that on the UI. But this is a best of 7. This is how Rama gets dealt with. Army moving out. I was BM non-stop on the EU server. Yo, the BM on EU hits different. Like, the amount of vitriol that I've gotten laddering on EU, it eclipses anything on NA that I've ever experienced, I'll be honest. I'll be honest, mate. I'll be honest. Like, EU ladder, I should say, is it's a place. Jesus. Didn't expect that. Yeah, the first time I laddered on EU, it was not a pleasant experience. The amount of slurs that get thrown at you, it's crazy. But here we go. Threats, yeah, I've gotten a lot of death threats on the EU ladder. I've never gotten a death threats on NA. Anyway, from here, we just see Erik pushing in. Erik, he does move forward. Oh, setting up. And alas, he has, of course, scattered the carrier. We've been seeing the slow push forward. At the same time, oh, MasTeR going for a massive Zealot counterattack. There's one Lurker in position. Does bust in. Drone's going to be going down. There's only one Lurker to defend. Yeah, workers are falling. MasTeR just turtling up. Lurkers are slowly getting around. Oh, MasTeR shots on the Stalkers. Bungle as well. Not bad. The Lurkers, they gain value. They shut down the Gateway Army. They catch one of the High Templar. Lurkers are trading well. At the same time, only 9, I say only 9 drones go down. But the run by gets cleaned up. And now Erik, he can focus on this push. He can focus on his assault. Taking down one of the Stargates. True. Stargate's under fire. Will deny the Tempest. Tempest is denied. But at this point, I feel like we need Corruptor. Because that Skytoss army is getting out of hand. There's 4 carriers, 2 Tempest. Lings, they hit the natural. Base goes down. Unrocks. Cap. Oh, as we do get 20 probe kills. I mean, nice thing run by hit was natural. Workers also falling here on the front lines. And Erik, he's getting on top of another Stargate. That's 2 Stargates going down. Uh-oh. MasTeR down to 1 Stargate. Now, he hasn't lost any Skytoss units yet, but this is going to impact his production. And if he takes a bad fight, he's not going to be able to rebuild. As that's a 2nd Stargate falling. Also, no, the ladder is just full of people getting sad and getting, like, angry when they lose. Like, that's all it is. They're just clowns, baby. They're just clowns. They just get very sad when they lose. Very angry. There you go. Erik pushing in. He's maxed out. I mean, mate, this push of lurkers, MasTer's been having a hard time dealing with this. Gets a couple of lurkers. 2, 3 lurkers going down. 10% popping up. Oof. And here they come, finally. Corruptors. Corruptors are on the way. Lings, they bust into the mid-run for a second. Hero! The wall's not a wall. The wall is wide open. And mate, Erik, he's pulling MasTeR apart. 34 probe kills. Lunges forward, takes out another Tempest. Takes down another Tempest. And we're down to how many? Down to 4. 4 Tempests left. The base is under fire. It's going to go down. Ah. Erik, he's pulling it off. Despite a shaky game, it was very shaky. It was oh. Pongu goes off. Corruptor's diving in. I don't think Erik has to dive here. Yeah, he doesn't have to push. Brutal Storms. Erik here overextends. Killing the base was all he had to do. And he can go for the all-in. He can just go for the all-in here. This is a terrifying army. Look at how many High Templar he has. So many Storms. Tempest moving forward. Erik, he poked the bear. He did do crippling damage, but MasTeR still has a terrifying force. He's got how many? He's got 4 Tempests. He's got 5 Carrier. He can still break Erik. Yeah, and Erik, he cannot stand. And not here. Corruptors, they try to dive in. Storms zone them away. Lurkers getting free damage. No detection. Uh-oh. No detection. Alas, the army's cloaked anyway. Takes down the Archon. MasTeR moving in. Can we set up some kind of surround? We do catch a Carrier. Carrier does fall. Cloak runs out. Cloak does run out. Ooh, and we had to try to commit here. The Storms are brutal. Once again on the Corruptor, on the Hydra. The Lings, they do shut down the High Templar, but is it too late? Did the Storms do enough? Yeah, there's too much in the air. Too much in the air, too much Skytoss. MasTeR, he's doing it. He is doing it. We're down to what? We're down to 5 Hydras. It's close. No Interceptors. Uh-oh. No Interceptors left. There's barely any. Plus Transfuse. Oh no. Down to 3 Hydras. Down to 2. Down to 1. Ah, not enough Hydras. Not enough Hydras here. And MasTeR, he's done it. He has done it. He breaks through the Queens, breaks through the main army, cripples the economy. There's 11 Hydras in production. Is that enough? 11 Hydras, they can kill the mothership. There we go, mothership goes down. And can he get on top of the Carrier? No. Oh god. Oh look, he runs into the Spore. The Spore intercept, let's go. Spore brings it down. We're down to 2 Carriers and 1 Tempest. Let's go. Erik going into Corruptor. Trying to decide what he wants to make. I mean, he's out of money. He's out of money. He's broke. He has no income. Erik making 3 Corruptors, and I don't think that's going to be enough here. MasTeR Lunas is mining. So is Erik. Trying to at least. Yo, drone rush. Let's go. Let's go. Oh no. As Erik is trying to muster his forces, he will save the drones and he can go back to mining. True. Just has to buy time. How many spores? Spores are going to be a factor as well. Spores are going to be a factor. There's one spore in the main. There's one spore here at the third. One spore at the natural, but they are spread out. Lings, they go for a counterattack. Oh, once again, they're going to deny mining. Storm the Corruptors. Lings, they catch a High Templar. Massive pickoff. They get a High Templar. There's one High Templar left. As we do see MasTeR take down the expansion. Building a more Corruptor. Lings, they do catch some of these mining, or some of these mining workers. Spore gets a couple of hits off. We have a base mining. Erik, he just needs gas. He needs gas. Get in there. Take the gas, Erik. Take it. Another Spire. Spire goes down. There's still the Hydrogen. Get into the gas back. You can still make Hydras. And Queens, of course. Don't forget about the Queens. It's so easy to forget about Queens in this kind of game state. I mean, Queens won't be the most impactful of units here. Spore goes down. We're now reinforcing with Zealots. MasTeR should have this. He should have this here. There's only 4 Corruptors. We have 3 Hydras on the way. Boys being pulled back. Erik trying to take another expansion. And the base is going to fall. Now, is there a world? Can the Broodlings focus on the High Templar? Never mind. Is there a world? Templar takes a couple hits. Oh, we're up to now 2 Tempests. 2 Tempests. Now we do have a couple more Hydras, true. 3 Hydras. 3 Hydras, soon to be 4. 4 Hydras, 4 Corruptor. The problem is the Storm. He's trying to bait it out. Yeah, he's just gonna collapse in. He does have on the High Templar though. Oh, does go down. No Storm. Storm is denied, but there's not enough anti-air. Yeah, there's not enough anti-air here. Does try to go for the carrier. GG gets called, and MasTeR, he will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 5. GG. Whew, oh my god. GG, well played again. Erik, he did have a really good positioning. He was killing base after base, production building after production building. He was forcing MasTeR back onto a 2-base economy, but MasTeR was being very patient, and Erik did overextend. He overextended. If you remember at the time, he did not have to fight after killing the 3rd. After killing the 3rd base, back off, get your economy going, rebuild. But Erik, he got a little bit too confident. He got overconfident. He went forward for a fight. He lost everything in the process. And then suddenly everything swung in favor of MasTeR. Whew. And with that, MasTeR takes a lead in the series. Does take a lead. And now we're jumping into game number 6. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of El Dorado, we have the South Korean, the Brazilian Zerg player, the Brazilian Zerg, the Red Zerg, representing the CranKy Ducklings, down in the series. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Erik. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brazilian Protoss, the blue Protoss player, leading the series 3-2, needs one more win here to claim the series. It is MasTeR. As Erik once again is going to be opening up with the hatch block. He's going to be pull first. Going for the earlier pull. I believe 14 pull here out of Erik, moving out with the drone, and ideally blocking the expansion. Now again, this is not a rush, this is not an all-in, this is a way to disrupt the opener, to delay the economy of MasTeR and try to gain a lead. As we are moving in and go for the expansion. Again, similarly to how MasTeR is pylon blocking the natural, Erik is blocking the natural of MasTeR. That's kind of like the equivalent. MasTeR, he has to pull the boys, so he's going to lose mining time here. And likewise is typically forced to make a zealot as well. Forced to make a zealot to expand. So Erik is forcing inefficiencies out of MasTeR. Behind this is droning, and he should be expanding as well. As Lings do pop to deal with the probe. And now Erik can take the natural. So from here, Erik, he will drone, he will take a macro hatchery, will saturate his bases. Erik should not lose the hatchery, should be able to cancel in time. Should be able to cancel. Yes, there it is. Erik, Erik does cancel, but he will lose the drone. Drone goes down, bit of a misstep there from Erik. Didn't mineral walk. Lings have arrived, and remember, the goal here is to try to get some probe kills. Last game, Erik, he killed 4 workers, but this time he does not. This time the Zealots were in position, the workers were there, and MasTeR loses nothing. So a much stronger start this time for MasTeR, as he can now expand. He can now take the natural. Erik behind this, going for his own macro hatch, droning up, taking his gases, and soon settling in. Now, as we load into El Dorado, this is a unique map where you have options with how you want to expand. You can expand linearly away from your opponents and be more defensive, or you can expand aggressively towards your opponents. And Erik, he is expanding towards that triangular third. So mines through the minerals, and we'll take that third base. This base should be quite secure, as it's quite difficult for the Protoss to really apply much pressure there outside of Oracle Harass. Adept threatens a shade, but Erik, he has his 4 Lings. Again, 4 Lings is all you need to keep up with the Adept. Erik defends. Erik, he defends. I believe Erik, this time he did cut corners a little bit further. He went for the hatchery before the queen. So queen production was delayed. So he has no queen, so he does make an extra pair of Lings. As from here, MasTeR does open with his tech of choice with a Stargate. No surprises here. Stargate. Ooh, and MasTeR, he expands towards Erik. Now, this is a unique dynamic that we see sometimes here on this map. If both players expand towards each other, the rush distance by ground, I mean, this is it. This from third base to third base, we're right next to each other. We're one screen apart. And you can be very aggressive and you can go for all-ins. This goes both ways. We can see MasTeR go for like an 8-gate blink all-in. We can go into a glaive follow-up after the third base into like 9-gate glaives. We could see Erik likewise also cut workers and go into roaches and go for like a roach queen push across the map, or even a German taxi. Like, there are ways to be aggressive to go all-in, as MasTeR will take that expansion. Ooh, but that is going to be a Twilight Council before Nexus. This feels like Glaives. This feels like Glaive Adepts here from MasTeR, which would make sense. Again, short rush distance by grounds. You can be aggressive. Glaives would make sense. We'll see if he does go for something else. If we were casting Hero, I could, like, dance with the idea of Blink, for example. Hero, he is not one to shy away from early Blink into an 8-gate setup over 3 bases. But here I'm assuming Glaives. We'll keep an eye on MasTeR. There's the gateway explosion getting into 4 gates. Yep, there it is. Glaives are on the way. So 4-gate glaives here out of MasTeR. This is designed to cripple the Zerg player. Not to kill, but to cripple. To get economic damage, to pick off drones, and to gain an economic lead. Now, thankfully, Erik is going for a safety Roach Warren, so he will have the tools to defend, assuming he doesn't overdrone. Right now, he scouts. Seeing 2 to 6 Adepts this early on is not a tell. Like, it is standard. So Erik, he has to get eyes on the additional Adepts when they warp in. As gateways are finishing up, you can see Adepts that banking up in the natural. Lings, they attempt to scout. Nothing major yet. Oh! He does slide in. Who does slip in. He does get eyes on additional Adepts. And more importantly, there we go. Twilight Council, Lack of Forge, upgrading research. Yeah, he knows. Erik, he sees enough. Behind this, we need roaches. We need as many roaches as possible. Roach production has begun. Erik is getting supply blocked. Ooh, 3 overlords on the way. Now is not the time. Now is not the time for a supply block. Throwing down the Spine Crawler. Adepts, they make their way into the mineral line. Again, they get across the map so fast. He does not come into the shade. Takes down a couple of workers. 2 drones going down. Denies the Spine. Uh-oh. Denies the Spine. Gets 4 drone kills. Those are the Queen as well. Massive pickups. A strong start, but we're not done. We're not done yet. Throws down the Spore. Lings, they come in for the surround. Where's the shade? The shade is late. Late shade here by MasTeR. Biles connect. Adepts are going down. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there. The shade was delayed. Because of that, he could not escape. And Erik holds. Erik does hold. He moves out. Back at home. Blink is not done. But Erik, he can't quite break through this. There is the Oracle. Oracle is in position. And Erik is droning. Erik is droning up. He's taking the gold base. Taking up into Hydras. And Erik survives. Okay. As the dust settles here, MasTeR, I want to say he didn't do enough. MasTeR, he killed how many? 9 drones in total? That's not too bad. 9 drones is okay, but the problem here is, one, Blink is a little bit later, of course. Blink is delayed. On top of that, no Forge. No Forge, no Bay, no Temple Archives, no further tech. MasTeR is not really set up for a longer game yet, because everything was delayed because of the Glaive Adept timing. How many gateways? Ooh. He's setting up for an all-in. He's getting up to 7 gateways. Yeah, getting up to 7 gates, pushing forward. Does he expand? Does he throw down another gateway? Where's MasTeR taking us? Now pushing forward, trading against the Lings. Does trade. MasTeR is making probes. Trying to trade with the army, getting caught out. Yeah, bleeds out a Stalker. 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalker. Oh my god, 5 even. Yeah, 5 Stalkers go down. Brutal losses there for MasTeR. That should not have happened. Bleeds out a lot of Stalkers. And again, he's pretty committed here. Like, he has nothing else behind this. Whether it's tech or upgrades. Just pure vanilla 0-0 Stalkers. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Erik, because he's not just defending with Ling Roach Ravager, he's defending with Hydra. Plus on range finishing up. Range as well for the Hydras. Erik is getting into a superior army. And MasTeR, he needs to end the game soon. But he's lost so many Stalkers. Oh my god, the Biles! He's lost so many Stalkers already. Another Stalker goes down. And now we get the Temple Archives. Now we get a second Gas Geyser. But this is a late realization for MasTeR. Basically, he recognizes he cannot end the game. He cannot kill Erik. But it might just be too late. He needs a lot of time. He needs time to get an expansion, to get into Storm. Reinforcing with more Stalkers. 7 drones. Jesus. 7 drones do go down. And the natural. Nice damage. Erik still started stepping forward. Trading well against these Stalkers. Jesus. Oh my god. We can't afford these losses, MasTeR. Losing too many Stalkers. He does take the fight. That was 20 Stalkers have gone down. That's insane. Again, Mass Stalker is meant to overwhelm. Nice blink. Nice movement. Gets over to the other side. Alas is still going to be hunted down. So far keeping up with the Lings. Does keep up. Erik coming in for the surround. Collapsing on the army. Catching up more Stalkers. He does trade well. Does trade well. Back on the other side. Storm is almost done. MasTeR needs more time though. He needs a little bit more time for Storm to finish. And the goal base is coming into play. Erik is massing up. Consolidating his army. I believe Erik massing up. I believe Erik, he didn't tech up into lurkers or a hive. Yeah, there's no infestation pit, no lurker den. Just pure Ling Hydra Roach. Storm is done. Snipes one. Snipes one Eye Templar. There's 2 Eye Templar left. Takes down the Oracle. Storm is going to be coming in. There's the first Storm. There's the only Storm. As we do see, MasTeR needs a little bit more time with the High Templar. Morse in the Archon. 0 Storms. Yeah, purely Archons on the way. Without Storm, Ling Hydra Cannon will overwhelm. GG gets called. Erik, he does break through. And we are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We are going to the ace match here, and we'll see how this story ends. Oh my god. Again, very intense game. Again, we did see MasTeR kind of stumble when it came to his Glaive Adepts. Unfortunately, he did start off with a nice trade. He was able to get some worker kills. He was able to catch a queen, but his shade was delayed. He did miss that second shade, and because of it, he wasn't able to escape. He got shut down, he got locked down, and Erik did shut him down then and there. From there, we saw that MasTeR had a really weird follow-up, because it wasn't exactly like a 3-base Stalker all-in, because it was taking extra gases, and yeah, he wasn't getting as many gateways. He stopped at 7 instead of 8. He took an extra gas geyser as well, so he couldn't reinforce on the front lines. It was a bit of an awkward transition there, and MasTeR did kind of fumble. Erik did snowball out of control from there. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. Yeah. The final game of the series. Sorry, I just got a little bit lost. But we're good. We're good to go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have our Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Whew. Representing Team Hellfire, being forced into the ace match, into game 7 of all maps. We made it, mate. What's crazy? We had a game 5 in the previous best of, in the upper bracket finals, went all the way to the ace match in game 5. Now we get a game 7. We get a treat here. As in the top right-hand corner, we have MasTeR for Team Hellfire. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Here we go. Oh my god. Take a breath, Pappy, take a breath. As we settle into Frostline. Again, loading into this, we have Hatch first. For the first time this series, right? Like, we've seen like 12 pools and pool first openers and hatches across the map. Hatch first out of hatch pool out of Erik. Okay. Okay. I see you. I'm a little bit caught off guard. But we do have our hatch first. So hatch pull into hatchery here. A much more standard opener out of Erik. We're calming down, Pappy. We're calming down. So from here we are going to be settling in. I've been playing Phoenix into 3-gate charge into 3rd base and Masters for years, yet everybody credits here for this. Come on. I mean, you're not going to get credit. What are you talking about? True. Hero, he saw your games. Copium. So here we go. As from here, we are getting to our Stargate. So far, standard opener. Now, we have seen a lot of Oracle into Phoenix play out of MasTeR, for those that are aware, for those that were here for the previous games, because Erik is so fond of Muta play. So fond of it. Do we get there here? Potentially. Potentially. The Adept does move in. Whereas Erik denying some mining time, getting in full scouts. There is going to be a Phoenix first, which is what we've been seeing a lot of here from MasTeR. Phoenix first. The goal here is to hunt down the Overlord, to Phoenix into Oracle. And again, it's also to be a bit of a deterrent against the eventual Spire play of Erik, which hasn't necessarily stopped him before, but it may stop him here. We go. As we do have that Oracle follow-up. Overlords are being hunted down. Vision is being denied. And from here, MasTeR is building up. Ooh, that is going to be a Twilight Council before Expand, though. Do we go Glaives again? Okay, similar to El Dorado, this is screaming Glaive Adepts. This screams Glaive Adepts here. Let's go. We are getting up to a gateway explosion. That's going to be a 4-gate setup. Now, remember, this is not an all-in. You are expanding behind this, getting a third base, and the goal here is to cripple the economy of your opponent. Again, we saw MasTeR kind of fumble the ball a little bit when it came to El Dorado, initially doing well, but then getting surrounded. We'll see if he can have better success here, as the Twilight Council is done, and Glaives are on the way. Again, this is the common transition if we do see a Twilight Council before the third. Otherwise, again, if we're casting someone like Hero, then we would expect Blink instead. But not from MasTeR. Here we go. The aggression continues. Erik here is getting a safety Roach Horn here at the natural, taking his gases, droning up. Erik he has yet to confirm. If you recall, last game with his Lings, he was able to get eyes on the extra reinforcing Adepts. For the time being, he has yet to do so. Now dipping in. Does dip in. Adepts, they are massing up. Erik he has yet to commit. Oracle does push forward. So far distracting Erik. Gets 2 drones. Adepts are soon to move out. And Erik, does he spot them? He does. Does spot the Adepts, does spot the move out. He has 4 roaches on the way, but we need as many roaches as possible. How many Adepts? It's going to be how many? 11. 11 Adepts in total. We have a 12th Adept on the way. MasTeR does commit. Erik back at home. Does right in the Spine Cooler. Safety Spine here at the third. Yeah, it does evacuate. This time, he just gets out. This time, he just completely evacuates the third base. He's like, you know what? Last time I lost too many drones. This time, let me just get the hell out of here. Does pull away. So far, good response. The Queen still goes down, but he does save his drones. At the same time, Lings, they hit the third base. The reinforcements back at home. Ravagers moving in. The Biles, they do not connect. They connect. Adepts. Does commit. Oh, he commits to the shade. Lings are laying in wait. And can he keep up? Can Erik shut this down? As Adepts, they do waddle into the main. Losing another Adept, down to 6. Oof. And he shades out. He does shade out. 0 drone kills. And he's being shut down. Erik holds. Erik, he holds, he cleans up the Adepts. This time, no economic damage. There was potential, don't get me wrong. And 1 Adept shades in, but 1 Adept is not going to do enough. Not enough. Not this time. Erik, he cleans up the army. This time he doesn't lose any workers. He did lose a queen. True, did lose a queen. Did trade his Lings. But this time a stronger defense from Erik. MasTeR across the map. He is transitioning into what looks to be a Soul Train-esque army. He's massing up sentries. There we go. More sentries on the way. Into Immortal. We have +1. This can lead into a charge follow-up into Archons as well. Into Immortal Charge Archon. This is kind of the go-to that we've seen from MasTeR time and time again. We'll see if he commits into any upgrades though. He might just push out with just vanilla gateway units with sentries and immortals, which I think we saw him do once previously in the series. It's been a long series. I'll be honest. It's been a long one. Ooh, and Erik's being greedy. MasTeR's going all in, and Erik is being very greedy here. He's taking up into Infestation, into Lurker Den, into Hive and Lurker Tech. Erik, we can't get away with that. He's going to try. Here comes a Prism. And again, no upgrades. So no upgrades. So it is going to be almost like a Soul Train, like Mass Immortal, Sentry. I think it was it on Ley Lines? I think it was on Ley Lines, if I recall. Maybe one of the other maps where MasTeR, he did this. He had Mass Sentry. This, like, look at the Sentry count. It's crazy. He has Mass Sentry with this. He does push. Does move out. It's all about the force fields. It's all about the force fields, Fabi. Let's go. Force fields alongside the Adepts. Again, it's all or nothing for MasTeR. He's getting a 4th behind this. Actually, he's teching. Never mind. He's getting a 4th base. He throws down a Robo, a Bay into Colossus production. But he's still committed. Does move forward. Trying to lock down the army. Takes down 2 Roaches. Takes down 2. Oh. I'll say crazy army. Massive Blast Connect. Oh my god. Sentry's getting low. But so far the Sentries, they survive. They shut down the Ravagers. Still very close. Yeah, as half the army just isn't even fighting, isn't even engaging. MasTeR, he warps in. He collapses on the army. We'll lose the Immortal, though. We'll lose 1. We'll barely lose the other as well. Yeah, both Immortals go down. Erik's holding. Erik, he's holding on. Files will connect. They shut down the prism. No more reinforcements. Here comes the second wave of Master Adept. He shades in. Ooh, but the Roaches are keeping up. The Roaches, they keep up with the Adepts. And they're being locked down. They're being locked down for a second time. Oh my god. MasTeR is going to lose everything. The Adepts go down. Reinforcements have arrived. They get a couple of drone kills, but not enough. This is not enough damage. And remember this. Because of the way that MasTeR played this out, there is no charge, there's no blink, there are no upgrades, there's no forge either. I mean, sorry, there is a forge, but there's no upgrades. Huh? Has +1? Ah, never mind. Didn't even notice. Has +1, thankfully, but did lose almost everything. He has to hold on. He has to buy time for the Colossus. He's making 2 Colossus at a time here. Erik is counterattacking, and what's crazy? Bear this in mind. Erik, he defended, he survived with what? With a Hive. That's what's crazy. He defended with a Hive and with a Lurker Den. And now suddenly, we can counterattack with Lurkers. Lunkers are on the way. He is ahead in tech. Far ahead in tech here. Ay, ay, ay. Now, what MasTeR has, remember, he has no charge, he has no blink, he has glaives. He has glaives, so he has to make use of the Adepts. He has to make use of them in some way, shape, or form. Is shading in. And there's potential for damage. Colossus have to get the hell out of here. Does kite back. Does pull away. Does pull away the Colossus. Securing his 4th. Oh, nice aces. How many Lurkers do we have? 6. Okay, only 6 Lurkers. But now we have Vipers on the way. And that is typically the answer to these Colossi, is Viper tech. So Erik, he's maxed out. And again, MasTeR was essentially all in. This is why we have a disparity here in the supplies. Is because of Erik's hold. And the wall's not a wall. Oh my god, okay, it does warp in. Does warp in time. But here comes Erik, pushing in at both ends. Going for the 4th base, pushing in towards the natural. And GG gets called. MasTeR, he cannot keep up. Not after that. And Erik, he will take the series 4-3. Becoming this month's Amantes de StarCraft number 36 champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Oh my god. He went all the way to the ace match, all the way to game 7. MasTeR, he was crazy. Started things off with the Glaive Adepts. Initially, things were looking a little bit better for him, but he got completely shut down. He followed that up with almost like a Soul Train-esque all-in with Mass Sentry at like 16 Sentries, 2 Immortals. Went for it, and alas, he just rammed his face against a brick wall. I will say that Erik, he was teching, he was being greedy, but he got away with it. He got away with that greed, he got away with the Lurker Den, he got away with the Hive as well. And from there, after the defense, Erik, he snowballed out of control with the Lurker tech, with the Hive tech, with the Viper. GG, well played. Whew. Erik does claim the series. As he claims the series, I do apologize for not giving you a shout out earlier, but a big shout out to Dave Testa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to the community, to Iron Ring. Thank you so much, Pappy. Thank you so much for the support. Likewise, thank you so much to Flip a Flapjack as well for the resub for 6 months. I did notice that in the previous game. It's just there's a lot going on, so I do apologize. But thank you so much. Thank you so much to both Flipper Flapjack and to Dave Testa as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. And yeah, with that, congratulations here to Erik. Again, it was very intense. I mean, shout out to both Erik and MasTeR because, mate, they play their hearts out. It was insane. And again, typically our broadcast here for Amantes is around, like, what, 4 hours? This is, what, like a 6-hour cast? Yeah, 6 hours. Jesus. So I apologize for misspeaking towards the end. It was very fatiguing. Was not ready for a 6-hour broadcast. Mate, I have not eaten at all today, mate. It's 5 p.m. I'm gonna go get some breakfast, but Jesus Christ. 6-hour cast, Pappy, 6-hour cast. I did eat a plum. I did eat a plum before the finals. That's why typically we don't have a break before the finals, but I did have a break just so I could get something. But there it is. There is the bracket here. Crazy, crazy night of StarCraft. Oh, as we do try to, there we go. Do try to show this off. We had our top players from Brazil. We had Erik, we had MasTeR, Shakti, Yan as well. We had Erik and MasTeR going to the ace match in the upper bracket finals, and once again to the ace match here in the grand finals as well. Did go the way of Erik both games, but both series, but clearly they're very closely matched. They're very even in skill. They go back and forth. We have seen MasTeR defeat Erik from time to time in these events, but this week, this month I should say, Erik, he did prove to be the stronger player, just barely over MasTeR. And it wasn't just about, you know, the state of play, the state of the players, but also like the endurance, the stamina. Mate, it was a 6-hour cast. It was 6 hours, mate. So it was not an easy tournament for these two. I'm sure that's also why there was some people asking, like, mate, after such a long series for MasTeR to just commit and to go all in at the end of it. Part of it, I'm sure, is because of how long the series were, how long the broadcast was. I'm sure that at a certain point, MasTeR just wanted to end it. He just wanted to end it, man. He just wanted to end the game and the last end of the series, even. Oh my god! Especially after like a 40-minute game we had on King's Cove, insane. Regardless, GG well played. In the end, does go the way of Erik. Light as a Zerg player, don't you get energy from the hive mind? That's how he does 14 hours of StarCraft a day. Speaking of 14 hours of StarCraft a day, we just wrapped up our 6-hour cast, and we have another cast in a couple of hours. Let's go. When is our next broadcast, you might ask? Actually, before I get to our next broadcast, again, if you enjoyed this, shout out to Cosmos. Cosmos, he's like the equivalent of like Wardy or Loco in Brazil. He's like the Brazilian caster. So big shout out to Cosmos. He does host and organize these events. A good friend as well. Actually, he's a lead singer in a band. He's a lead singer in a band as well. Has some pretty good music. It's in Portuguese. It's in Brazilian, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. He's got the voice, papi. He's got the voice. So shout out to Cosmos. And again, shout out to all these players as well. Again, this is a monthly tournament. Every single month, we do host the Amantes de StarCraft. And likewise, we also have a Code for Giants Cup, which is a bi-weekly tournament for the Brazilian scene. Again, it's always fun covering the Brazilian scene and the Latin American region. We do it whenever we can. We have some close ties to Brazil, papi. Ah. Fala galera, papi. Fala galera. When it comes to our next broadcast, bam, here we go. We have our weekly schedule. We just wrapped up with our Friday morning cast of Amantes de StarCraft. It did last a little bit longer than we expected. Our next cast is going to be at 6 p.m. KST. That is going to be in how many hours time? 3 hours. Let's go. In 3 hours, we're going to be back with another cast. Once again, we expect it to be like between 4 and 6 hours. So we have another cast in 3 hours time. That's going to give me time to get some food. I'm going to go get some breakfast. I'm going to get something to eat. Ideally, I would have liked to have napped in between, but I don't think I can. It's 3 hours is not enough. Like, I'm going to be like lying in bed for like an hour, then I'll fall asleep for a little bit, and then I'll wake up like feeling worse than I do now. It's not going to be good. So regardless, we're going to be back in 3 hours time with some more StarCraft with our next cast. We're going to be covering the OSC Season 12 Championship, covering the final day of OSC. We got you. We got you. 3 hours. 3 hours time. 3 hours time. Lights so tight, he needs help counting. I just need some food. Just catching up. Clearly, any Zerg player other than Star winning is clearly morally wrong. True. Feels weird. Isn't Light a Protoss player? No, I'm a Zerg. What do you mean? I'm Zerg. What are you talking about? I'm Zerg, back. Cosmos is a 6-singer. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Can you link it? Oh, thank you, Flip Check. Thank you. God, hold on. Can I find Cosmos? Hold on. Cosmos SE2 Twitch. He should have a link to his YouTube on his Twitch channel. Let's have a look. But his YouTube has all the StarCraft on it. God damn it. Where's his music? God, that's a good question. I know. We'll find him. Yeah, find, if you can come across Cosmos, his music is beautiful. It's beautiful. Voice of an angel, Bobby. Voice of an angel. Otherwise, wrapping up. We're wrapping up here for the time being. Wrapping up for the day. Oh, sorry, for the morning. And we'll be back in 3 hours with some more StarCraft action. I think Dave has. There you go. There you go. No. But yeah, we'll be back. Typically, I would like to have some time to ladder and stream, but not today. Not today. Maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll have some time. Also, we have the rest of the week's schedule. We have the KSL on Saturday. We have SEL Saturday evening. We have FSL on Sunday, and we have Sparkling Tuna Cup Sunday evening as well. 2 casts a day every single day. We have half a day off. That is Wednesday. Wednesday we have half a day off where we're able to, I mean, really just work behind the scenes on other things, on YouTubes, on editing VODs, on scheduling, of course. Unfortunately, this week I wasn't able to have a ladder session. We were just a little bit too far behind on other things, but next week I should be able to stream on my own personal channel, so you can check me out at light_VIP if you wish. If you want to tune into some Zerg ladder gameplay. I'm very rusty at the moment because I have no time to ladder, but whenever I get around to it, we will be all over that, so you can check me out there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for the support. We're going to be heading off for the time being, and we'll be back in 3 hours time. Otherwise, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid who is live at the moment. I see Sal is still playing through his subathon. Nightmare just went online. Let's go. Nightmare is also available. Who else? Practice X, sort of. We'll find someone. Find someone to send everyone over to. So give him some love, give him some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for some more CranKy Duckling action. If you want to help support us, you can do so via all our social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. We also have a YouTube channel as well, where we upload on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube. VODs are no longer being supported on Twitch, so VOD content is on YouTube exclusively, or it's going to be where it's all maintained, so do check it out on YouTube. Otherwise, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. !Patreon in the chat to check out our Patreon channel as well. Otherwise, thank you for watching, thank you for support. We'll see you next time. Ciao, Bobby, ciao. See you later tonight or next time.